Yes, sister, you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, you have to talk up louder though.
You hearing me better?
Yes.
Okay.
So we spoke half here about a problem that you talk about, some abuse.
Yes.
With children in school. Make we hear it.
All right. I want to ask you a question. Do you know that corporal punishment is still going on in the school? It is rampant. Are you fully aware?
I don't know about rampant, but occasionally we hear of it. Occasionally we hear teachers who cross the line and hit children, you know. And we know that not supposed to happen according to the ministry of education.
Well, I just want to know that based off of my experience with my child, I had been, being traumatized about the information that my child brought to me, and not only that, I verify with the teachers if something like that happened for true, and I was told yes. So my child was going to start out last year, and he attended a primary school. For the first time, he started there at age 5, right? Because he was going to summer class, and he was being beaten by a teacher at that particular school, right? When he started going to the school officially, why people might want to know why I continue to send him there. An apology was given. He was taken in the class, and the teacher apologized for beating him. So the principal is fully aware and everything, because the principal went and spoke back to the teacher, and an apology was given. So I thought that it wouldn't be repeating. I thought that the principal would have done the necessaries to ensure that it does not repeat. So within the first week of September now, when he officially, started going to class, before the week even done good, that was a Thursday, I picked up my son, and he told me that his official teacher, that's another teacher now, beat him with ruler and thump him on his right hand. Right?
What was the cause of that? Why should you do that?
Her issue is that the child would not stay one place.
Oh, yeah?
Right? So, I realized that with these teachers, it's like they and even though my child is a little more energetic than the rest, it appears, she still has no right to be putting her hands on my child. So I went there to verify what my son had said, because I believe my son, but nevertheless, I took the initiative to speak to the teacher. I did send her an email about it, and she told me to come and see her. That's the Friday morning. Remember, that's the first week in September. So I went and spoke to her, and she said to me that she's not disputing what my son had said, and she's not saying that my son is lying. Right there, she admitted, doing what I said my son. Right? So in the interim, while speaking to her, the principal came, and the security officer was saying to him that, because our child was beaten, that is why she's in the school at these hours, and she's trying to speak to the teacher about it. But as you see the principal attitude, he didn't care. He wanted me out of the school. And he Well, he started shouting at the teacher, saying that she's not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be here entertaining or speaking to any parents at this time. You're supposed to be attending to the students. So he basically disregarded everything that the security had said to him, because I told the security what the issue was. So it was clear to him, and remember, it had happened before. So he is fully aware of me. So eventually, he kept repeating himself, and the teacher had submitted to him and decided that, we should continue the conversation. So she went back to her student, and I had to leave, right? So he had no regards to, my child at all being injured or being beaten in his school. Within about the second and third week, what I tried to make, try to have other communication with him read matter. I didn't get a chance to speak with him, so I contacted the Region 6 officer, right? However, my experience with the Region 6 officer, she didn't really interested in what I had to say. She just telling me the principal say. She didn't care about what I had to say. So, as I said, within about the third week or so in September, because he gone to school because it has been, traumatizing him, and my child even wake up crying out, as if the teacher still beating him.
How old the child is?
My child was 5 at the time.
Okay. And how old the child is today? No. Hello?
Yes, my child is 6 years old.
6 years now?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. So, my child got injured in the school. Another child pushed him down, right, from a higher grade, and his head hit on a rock. That is.
Hit on a rock?
Yes. And you could see the extreme. You could see the swelling, and he was also bleeding on other parts of his body.
So you never came with doctor?
No, they didn't. As a matter of fact, when I got there, my child was there all by himself. Nobody was coaxing him. Nobody was attending to him or anything.
No, but hold on. The child hit him on a rock. According to what you say, right?
Yes, in the school.
And he was bleeding.
Yes.
And nobody know nothing about it more than him just sit down there and cry.
No, none of the adults did anything. When I entered the institution, I saw another boy taking him further inside, but I didn't know it was my child because I only see the back of the older child taking him in. I didn't know it was my child until I get up further, looking for my child and not seeing him. So I said, you know what, let me go see where that child is crying. And that's when I realized that is my child, because he was, out there by himself, and all the adults was one side looking at him.
So when you see him there, so you don't go back to the teacher then? You don't go to the teacher?
When I didn't even have time to go to the teacher. I called out to my son. When I saw his condition, he came to me, and one of the teachers came up to me. And you know what she said? No. Tell your mother, say, you're there play.
Tell your mother, say, you're play?
That is what them approach me. Can you imagine? Can imagine.
All right, so you go to the teacher who said that?
The teacher came to me. I was attending to my son when I saw him in the I called to my son, and he came to me, and the teacher came up to me and said to him, tell your mother, say they are player.
So she never know you was his mother?
When she saw me call out to him and he came to me, she assumed that I am the mother of the child. So she came up to us telling him to tell me that he was playing.
So what you said to him, you said to her when she said that?
I look here, I was so shocked, and to be honest, I didn't even answer her. I just went on, attending to my child, because that could have been fatal for him.
So you never called the police?
I went out with my child. I addressed his wound, and I put some ice on the swelling, and did the necessaries. And when I saw that he calmed down and I was able to leave him with an adult, And I went back into the school to speak with the principal. I spoke with the secretary. The secretary went to him, and the only thing she came out and tell me is that school is over. So he can't see me. School is over. And I told her what happened to my son. They just said school is over.
Well, what should I do?
So I went out. Back to my child. I thank the adult for looking at him, and I went to get some medication for him and so forth. Then I took him to the doctor. Later, I made a report to the police station, of course, about the whole issue with the beating and the injury. I told him everything that happened. I got a ticket. I even reported back to the Region 6 officer. I wasn't really getting anywhere with them. I had to write them to get a decent response.
So how long ago this thing happened? How long ago this thing happened?
Just last year.
Just last year? What do you mean just last year?
This happened last year, September.
Yeah.
Last year, September.
And since that, nothing else happened since that?
It's been just a back and forth, because when he was better and able to go to the school, he complained of constant abuse by the same teacher. He said every day he went to school, the teacher keep putting him to sit on the floor beside the aunts. Yes, sit on the floor. Yes, and he complained that the teacher having the other student calling him, saying that he's rude. Yeah, you can't be having all of that in the class.
Wait, hold on. So, you don't think you should go see a lawyer?
Yes, I haven't taken that step as yet due to...
But from October, you talk about now. October, November, December, January, February. We're in a March, you know, almost 6 months.
Yes, that is so true. And as I mentioned before, due to financial constraint, I haven't taken that route.
When you have the child advocacy, you know the child advocacy?
I went to them, of course. I went to them.
What happened?
I wrote to them, and I even went up there more than once. I spoke to a legal person up there. And I'm really not getting anywhere with anybody.
No.
I went up to the Region 6 officer, spoke to the supervisor, and she everybody's trying to just cover it up, to sweep it under the carpet. Everybody's just being disrespectful when I insist for some justice or for investigation to be done. Not even the Region 6, the ministry, not even an investigation they had kick off in regard to this matter. The last time I spoke to them was in December. I spoke to the minister herself in January this year about the matter, and the minister let me know that should not be happening. That is not something that is allowed in the school. And I did inform her that not even investigate the Region 6 choose to investigate the matter. Can you imagine? Nobody cared. The children advocate has not come out and say, let me advocate for this child.
Who you go to the children advocacy? Who you go to?
Who I spoke to up there?
Yeah.
Well, I spoke to a legal representative. Do you want me to call her name?
Yes.
I spoke to Miss Green by CD. The children advocate. I spoke to her in regards to the matter. Apart from her, I've spoken to more than one person by phone. But as I said, I went there in person, and I've sat there and I spoke to Miss Green in regards to this matter. I've also written to the OCR about the matter. And do you mind if I call the name of the school?
Yeah, don't call the name of the school. I'm going to find a name for you, and tomorrow I'm going to give you a name for you go to her, and you're going to tell them says me send it to her.
Yes, I would really appreciate it.
Children advocacy. I'm going to give you a name, a person that you should go to. Because this, so it's only that child alone, your child alone is treated that way, or you don't know?
Well, other children are being beaten by the same teacher, you know. But the sad thing is that parents are not talking out. You know, most people say that, you know, it's not going to go anywhere. And it is sad. It is sad that things come up to this way because, you know, when people talk about things, you know, especially in Jamaica, it doesn't really go anywhere, and people experience that. So when things happen, they don't really talk about it. They just suck it up, or you know, and this is why crime can't done, because corporal punishment. You know, do you know that you're literally teaching a child violence? You're teaching a child violence, you know. You're teaching a child that if something not go your way, or if you don't like something, lift your hand up, beat, or do something that is violent. You are teaching the children violence. There must be a different way to punish the child, or to punish a child that does something that you don't want to happen in the past. But you know, the sad thing about it, when I had to pull him from the school, I only got one interview with the counselor there, one interview, and that was in October. And from I left, the counselor has not gotten in touch with me, nothing at all. And the counselor duty is to report matter, especially if she hears that a child is being abused. The counselor said to me that the teacher suggested that I, the parent, should buy a table and a chair so that they can put my child, segregate my child in a corner by himself. They have been abusing my child in many different ways.
Yeah, very, very so.
They have been, and my child, she interviewed my child without my interruption because I turned my back to him, so I allowed her to talk to my child freely. And some of the things that he told her, it is up till now I still can't get over it. You know, he still cries every now and again, and he's going to counseling. He goes to counseling at the victim services division right there in Spanish Town by Oye Plaza. And I want to tell you, it's like nobody cares. As I mentioned, I've spoken to the minister about it. The PS is fully aware of it. Even the injury. When my relative went over there to get the claim form or to get some compensation for the damage done to my child, the principal will make me know that he's no longer a part of the school, so I'm not busy about that. Can you imagine? Like he wasn't a part of the school when he was injured. I did relay this information to the PS and the minister, and I was told to send them, the PS told me to send the receipt to her so that she can see what, she can start it out. I've sent it a while now, and I haven't even got any response.
How long ago you sent it?
I sent it, I think it was in January. Let me just look back. Let me just check back to give you the exact time when I sent it to her. And that's the permanent secretary. Okay, there she is. I sent the receipt in January, from January 18, thereabout.
Yeah, not much.
And I got no response back. I've even reached out back to her in February, about February 16 to be exact, about January 19, about the same matter, receipts and all of that. But I still haven't gotten any response from her. So.
All right, you know what? I'm going to find a specific person to send you to. So I'm going tomorrow when everything bright up, I'm going to find that person and send it to that specific person. Okay?
Yes, sir. I really appreciate it. I really need the help.
Further than we know.
Yes, it is continue. And let me tell you too, you know, the shocking thing, you know, when I pulled him from the school, I visited about 12 schools. I drove there. I visited 12 schools to see if they were appropriate or they can take my child. My child did the necessary assessment, and he was my son is very bright, so he was very successful in all the tests that he got, right? They wanted him. But I couldn't allow him to go to the school. Why? Because all of them said them beat me. So I have to tell them that I said it's the wrong school. Say again?
All of the school them say them beat children.
Yeah, 12 schools. And they said them beat Pitney. I contacted by phone a total of over 16 schools, both in St. Catherine and Kingston. And basically, all of them said the same thing. Some of them try to go around it, but then come back around and I say, but the teacher might get frustrated and, you know, might beat him. And it is shocking. It is shocking. I got my son into a school in about the late January, and you know, an incident already. Huh?
All right.
Proper punishment has never been upon it.
Yes, sir. Call tomorrow and so far we can go with it, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'll keep in contact with you and say how I can come push this further. So that's so now here.
Yes, it is frightening. It is happening. It is happening here in Jamaica. It has never been abolished. Yeah. And as I said, the minister is fully aware. I've written to her. Yeah. I've corresponded with her. I called her and talked to her on the phone. She is fully aware. The PS is aware. Everybody is aware. And we talk
you tell her about the school them. You tell her the school them where you go to, right?
Yeah, man. She is fully aware.
All right.
She's fully aware. She's fully aware of the school that he got beaten at and the school that he's going now. I have a list of the schools that I went to, but I have the list here.
Okay.
I have the list here. So if she wants to know the 12 school or the 16, about 16 schools that I contacted, I made a note of it.
Okay. All right. We have to go now. So I'm going to make the call tomorrow and see what happens. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. Give thanks.
Yes.
Big problems that in the schools, corporal punishment still exists. I thought the minister did say them don't know with that. But then again, it's government them name. Anything is possible with these politicians. Government